Hello and welcome to Midweek Chill with Leo Bray for Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Visit us on the web at urbanyoga.org or on Facebook at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center to check out our schedule and to stop by the tip jar to make donations to support our online classes live on Zoom and later on for the YouTubers. This evening, I don't have any Zoomers, so this is just a video being made for folks to enjoy on YouTube later. And as we do when those students show up live on Zoom, we make shorter videos. So this will be a shorter segment. And in honor of it being both midweek chill and a shorter segment, this class is going to be a practice done entirely lying down. So the next time you feel like you just don't have energy to do practice, you can not only have a shorter one, you can do one where you're lying on the floor the whole time. And what could be more chill than that? I'm going to start with the soles of my feet together and my knees splayed apart. If you choose to start like this, and this is just one option, you could have blocks here under the outside of your knees, supporting the weight of your legs and making the posture more passive. If this isn't comfortable for you, you might rest the soles of your feet on the floor and let your knees lean towards each other. You could extend your legs down along the mat, or scoot over by the wall or some furniture and put your legs up. Find a reclined posture that is comfortable for you to begin this practice. And you can always change your mind. If you want to, close your eyes. You decide whether you want to rest your hands on the floor or rest them on your body. Sometimes it's nice to feel the movements of your breath or feel your heartbeat or just a grounding weight somewhere on the body. Bring your attention to your breath. And just by focusing on your breath, it starts to change, getting slower, getting deeper. Allowing yourself to find your comfortable stillness. It's okay to adjust. Often comfort is a moving target. We're not aiming to be statues here. Observe the way your breath moves your body around, shifts your contact with the floor, with your props, whatever is touching down. Your grounding contact changes as the air moves in and out of you. Scan your body, taking in whatever sensations are present beyond the movements of your breath, beyond your contact with the floor, with your props. Notice whatever there is to be noticed, particularly noticing anything that doesn't feel so good. Listening to your body. Making note of any trouble spots that speak up as you check in. Remember that you are always welcome to skip or modify any part of practice with a slow, gentle, short practice. We might forget this or think it's not necessary, but it's always important to listen to our body. It's always important to know that that freedom of choice is theirs, it's ours. Even in, maybe especially in, a practice where it's not stated explicitly at the beginning. Your practice is always your practice. You make it your own each time. Let's take 3 deep clearing breaths before we begin to move out of our starting posture. Breathe in through your nose and release it through your mouth with a sighing sound. Now, if you started as I did with the soles of your feet together and your knees splayed out, let your arms do the work here of moving the legs out of this posture. Like closing a book, lift your knees towards each other. Let the soles of your feet come to rest on the floor. If you had blocks here, let's move the blocks out of the way. So we'll all meet here, feet planted, knees up. And start with an energizing twist. Just because it's a slow and chill practice doesn't mean we can't use our energizing twist. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. Reach your arms out to the sides with your palms facing up. Feel your shoulder blades press to the floor. Let's keep them on the floor. Let your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Let your breath bring you out. Not pushing the legs, letting them hang, letting gravity and breathing be in charge. Then the legs will go where they need to go. Sometimes the foot, right foot or left knee, come down to the floor. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's a surprise when they do. And it's okay if they don't. There goes my foot. It's neat what the action of the breath does to loosen and open the body. There goes my knee. Outer hip continuing to open here on my right. And even after you touch down there, the twist can deepen, some more release can happen. Spending about a dozen breaths here for each side. Bring your head and your legs back to center and cross your legs the other way. Let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. Slowly bring it all Back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest and hug your knees. A few times, squeeze, draw them in, relax your arms, let them out. Inhale, reach your hands away from your feet, extend your arms and legs all the way out. As you exhale, curl up and hug your knees again. Take a few more breaths with that. Using the whole inhale to open up and the whole exhale to curl up. And we can do another round of extensions here. As you inhale, reach your hands and feet up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, draw your elbows to the floor, draw your knees towards your chest. So you can keep your hands pointing up as you raise them and draw the elbows down. And you can play with where those elbows land, maybe they're in line with your ribs, or maybe in line with your shoulders. See which of those movements feels better in your shoulders. You play with rotating your hands as they go up and down. Palms face each other when you go up, and maybe palms point towards the feet as you come down. And draw your knees way in, reach your hands over the tips of your toes. So bring, if you can, bring your palms to the pads of your toes. So there's a pose we do standing called gorilla pose, where we stand on our hands. So this is like the gorilla on its back. And you can massage your feet, nothing wrong with that. You can wiggle your toes, massage your hand, and play with lengthening your legs. So this can get into stretching, of course, hands and feet, also calves, hamstrings, even quads. If you pull the knee down outside the ribs towards the floor, bring the quad stretch into it. And if you don't like the gorilla pose, you can just hold onto your toes with your fingers, or hold your ankles, feet, or plant leg, however you want, and play with happy baby pose. And do some similar movements. Maybe the gorilla is not comfortable for your hands and your feet. It is for my hands and my feet, but that's me. I'm actually putting a lot of pressure on my arches here. An area where, for some reason, I carry a lot of tension. So maybe you make big movements, maybe small movements. It's up to you. You can let go of your feet, use your arms to support your legs if you want, and move your feet in circles. Open the ankles a bit while we're here with the feet up in the air. And let's grab our strap. Run your strap under your feet. Hold one end in each hand. Checking in with grounding, we want to keep the back of the head, shoulder blades, and sacrum on the ground. Reach your hands and your feet up. Long legs, long strap, long arms. Point your toes down towards your face. Point your toes up at the sky. Let your feet relax. Slide your feet apart. And then slide them back towards each other. And I'm going to use a timer here. We're going to do a sequence with this strap, 4 different positions, 2 minutes for each one to really get into the hips. Take your right foot out of your strap, press the back of your right leg to the floor, and flex your right foot back towards you. Holding the strap with your right hand, reach your left arm to the side with your palm facing up. Then draw your leg to the right and turn your head to the left. Keeping the shoulders on the ground, now the sacrum lifts away from the floor, that's okay. And just see where your body wants to go. Remember, the strap is here for guidance and support. It's not to force your leg to go to any place in particular. See how this feels in your hip, your leg, your lower back, wherever else sensation registers. And you can always increase tension on the strap, pause where you are, or decrease and back off. Spending a couple minutes can be really helpful, really informative and revealing what's going on in those hips. Bring your head and your limbs back up to center line. Take the strap in your left hand. Press your right hand down on the front of your right hip bone. Let that arm and leg fall open to the left. Now here, some folks aren't comfortable with the leg hanging in the air. You can slide a block or another prop like a bolster or pillow, folded blanket between the floor and the outside of your leg if you're one of those folks that doesn't like this sensation of the leg hanging in the air. The hand on the front of the opposite hip keeps the pelvis from tilting and facilitates the outward opening of the opposite hip. When the pelvis tilts, there's less opening for the other side. And even if your leg touches down on the floor, as mine just did, you can continue exploring increasing tension on the strap if it feels like that's helpful. And just as with the crossbody movement, you can pause where you are, you can back off. Very gently coming out of this one, bring your limbs up to center again. Raise your right leg, step in, take your left foot up, press that calf and heel to the floor, flex that foot back towards you. Reach your right arm out to the side, palm up. Draw your leg to the left and turn your head to the right. And back up to center. Last one, take the strap with your right hand, press down on the front of your left hip, let those limbs fall open to the right. Nice and easy, come back up to center. Lift your left leg, draw your knees in, and set that strap aside. Plant your feet, knees pointing up, heels close to your butt, feet about hip width apart. If you like, you can put a block between your knees on the middle position, setting your knees about hip width apart. Bridge pose, press into the soles of your feet, inhale to lift your hips. For a deeper heart opener, if you want, clasp your hands under you, reach your knuckles towards your heels, wriggle the shoulder blades in towards each other. If you're taking that bind with your hands, release, exhaling slowly, let your hips down. Explore for a minute, going up and down at your own pace. Inhaling up and exhaling down. To make it more challenging, you can lift higher, move more slowly, pause at the top of the movement. Keep breathing if you pause the movement. And obviously, to make it less challenging, don't go so high, don't go as slow. You can pause at the bottom end of the movement. Sometimes I like taking an extra breath at the top and an extra breath at the bottom. And let's take a supported bridge. Pause with your hips lifted. Put a block under your sacrum. If you don't have blocks, you can use folded towels or blankets, a bolster, or pillow. In a pinch, you can stack your hands palms down and just rest on the back of your hands. Think of breathing through that block. Just cues your body to soften around the support holding it up there. It can bring some nice release in the pelvis and lower back. Now let's come out of our supported bridge, pressing into the soles of your feet. Lift your hips. Last time. Remove the prop underneath. Exhale slowly. Come down. And just take a little pause there, regrounding your sacrum. Move props out of the way. Hug your knees to your chest and explore whatever rocking and rolling movements feel good for your back. Whenever you feel complete with that, you can make your way to your final resting pose, which can be any posture where you're comfortable. Maybe it's the posture you started in. Maybe it's this, the traditional corpse pose, legs extended, feet splayed open, hands near your sides. But really any posture at all is fine. Something passive and comfortable. Close your eyes if you like. Maybe focus on your breath. Maybe choose something else to focus on. Or give yourself permission not to focus. Give yourself some deeper breath. Start moving around bit by bit. Taking your time. Letting the movements get bigger and bigger. Moving mindfully and gently. When you're ready, you can sit up. Oh, I said we were going to lie down the whole time. You can stay lying down. Start to sit up out of pure habit. If you like, bring your hands to your heart. Thank you for joining me in this practice. The light within me sees and honors that same light in you. Namaste. See you next time.